Hello, my fellow YouTubers. I am back with a new game to play. It's called Banished. It's similar to, I honestly don't know what, but it's like a city building game. Oh, like Emperor, Rise of the Middle Kingdom. That one's a really old game, but it's one of my favorites. I want to make sure to play it on this channel. But Banished is like an upgraded version of it because it came out about 2 years ago, and I got it on Steam, so it's really good. And it has a bunch, actually I just figured this out, but you can actually get mods for it right here from the main menu, which is awesome. So I'm actually going to go ahead and continue the series and get into those mods eventually, but right now I just want to start off with the base game and show you guys what it's like. Again, it's one of my favorites because I'm a very city builder, Sims person, but then role-playing like Skyrim and Fallout and things like that. Anything that is interactive with life, I love to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new game. And I just let it pick whatever name it wants because it has the weirdest names ever. And it has a shit ton of maps on it. I, again, randomize it, whatever. I always like to do valleys, but you can also do mountains. But valleys is less difficult for me, and I want this to be more like informative than it is difficult. Terrain size, I always do medium, sometimes large. Climate, mild. Fair, harsh. Yeah, mild. I always stick to mild because if you get anything worse, like fair or harsh, it definitely ups the difficulty. Actually, I think I've done this enough times, I'll do fair. Disasters on. I've only, so far for disasters, aside from a fire, I've had one tornado, but there's a lot of other things that can happen. I just haven't experienced it yet. Starting conditions determines how easy, medium, or hard it is. Basically, you can start out with certain, let me just read it. If you're on easy, it starts with 6 families, so more people, more stuff in your stockpile, basically. Tools are provided, homes are built, and a storage area is built. I usually stick to medium because just you have 5 families, a little bit less of stockpile stuff, and you have a storage barn already built. Whereas with hard, you have nothing, 4 families, very small amount of everything. And the only reason why I do medium is because I like placing my own houses, because I don't agree with where they place it sometimes on their own. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Medium, yes, okay. And it just, look at that, that's an example of a disaster that came through here. I'm sure this was a fire, it looks like. Could have been a tornado, though. And it completely destroys everything, you gotta rebuild. It's crazy, but it's very realistic, which is why I love it. Alright, so here we are in our own little village of sorts. Oh no, I moved myself. But you start off like in medium, like I told you, with, what's it called? 5 families. These are all the families down here, and it shows you there's a lot of different, where is it? In the tools and reports, you have general statistics of the town, which is that one up there, and it shows you, I like having this one up because it tells you all of the basics that you need, coats, tools, your actual resources, food, which is the total amount, not individuals, any alcohol, any textiles, herbs, so on and so forth. And it shows you how many people you have. Total, we have 19. This up here, number of adults, in the middle students, and then the bottom is children. If you don't have a schoolhouse built, which we'll get into later, then you go from children to adults immediately. If you do have a schoolhouse, they'll go children, students, adults, obviously. And that just tells you how many people need an actual house. But no, that's it. That's all I need to say. Next, you have a log of events that happen, and this can be anything like somebody died, somebody gave birth, anything like that. And I don't usually have these pop up because they will pop up on their own, and if you're wondering about something that's happened in particular, you can just go ahead and pop it up yourself. Then we have an overhead map of the area, which is this guy down here. I like to use it to help me get around easier than just edge scrolling because sometimes that gets a little annoying, but sometimes it doesn't. And then we have a job board, which is this guy up here. So you can see these are each individual jobs that we have available, and we have a total of 10 adults who can work. And once you have, let's say I build a building, let's see I build a farm, and it says 3 people can work the farm, then you assign 3 people, so on and so forth. Then we have limits placed on production. I don't really place many limits on well, the limits are there so that you don't overflow your stockpile with a bunch of one thing. So, like, for example, I one time was playing this game and I did 1,000 logs. And that was fine and everything, but once I hit, not 1,000 logs, sorry, 1,000 firewood. I don't know where it is. Fuel. Fuel is firewood. But I said 1,000 fuel, and that ended up getting rid of all my logs, which you need to build. So it can affect other resources you have, which is why you want to make sure these are a reasonable amount. The only thing I really change a lot is the food limit, because I tend to make a lot more food than I need. Then this, basically whenever you assign a job, if you need them to do it faster, you take this and you highlight the area and they'll do the job faster. Then we have paths. It'll actually allow you to see which way these people go, but we haven't actually played the game yet, so you can't really tell where they've gone yet. But we'll figure that out eventually. Camera location, so you can get there faster. Basically takes a snapshot for you, and this is just a help button. Alright, so let's actually get into the game. So my strategy for playing this game is simple. Very, very simple. You need food, because food runs out fast. You need wood, because wood runs out fast. And you need at least one house. You don't need houses for everyone, not to start out yet. And that was always a problem for me, because I used to build like 5 houses for all the families, but then they'd all starve because there's no more food, because I was too focused on building houses. So what I like to do is kind of scope out the area. Let's see. Where would be good areas to put a hunter's or gatherer's place? And I can go over here too, but I don't want to build a bridge yet because that'll take a lot of resources. This looks like a pretty good area down here. But up here does too. And so does here. You kind of want to pick a place that has the most trees available when you start out, because the most trees will give you better like mushrooms and food you can find on the floor, as well as it's most likely to spawn the most deer that you can hunt. And of course the little yellow circle around tells you its actual how far out it can go. Far out. I always do a gatherer's hut and then a hunting hut right next to it. The little green arrows is actually a place for where you can build a road. So you can build a road right down the middle, no problem. Zoom in. Where is it? You can kind of see their outline right here. Is this it? It might be. Yeah, I think these are it right here. And you want to make sure you always build a road to wherever people are going, even if it's just a dirt road. Because if they don't have a road, it's going to take them forever to get anywhere. And I mean forever. There we go. Perfect. And you want to build not only the gatherers and the hunter's hut, but you also want to do a forester. Not an orchard, sorry. Where's the forester? That's it. Forester Lodge. You want to build this nearby to where you have those huts, because it'll keep building, like planting trees, so you don't have to worry about anything dying. Because if you end up cutting down the whole forest, then that's it, you're just screwed. And then I like to also build houses here, but I'll do that after they start getting busy on this. And I actually like to, where is it? This is the hardest part. I can't tell where it is. Hello? Where the hell did it go? I swear this is like playing. Like, Where's Waldo? In a weird way. I forgot there's directions for how to move. And tilt. I don't remember. Oh, E. E rotates. But I don't know where the things went. I can't even see the road anymore. Well, technical difficulties. Okay, well, the road is down here. gatherers. It didn't put down the foresters? Let's put it down ourselves again then. That's weird. There. Okay, so you can actually hit this useful button right here to pause people from building it, which is great because then they can focus on actually building things that are going to help them, like the hunters and gatherers hut. And the music on this is on point, I have to say. And so now that you have everything set, you press play, because I've been paused. And you want to assign people to be builders. Up here. Then before you get into anything else, you want to start removing resources. I built things that are going to take up a lot of wood. So I need them to start cutting down trees. As well as stone and iron. Oh, I should have just done this. You can do individual things. So say you want to keep the trees but get rid of all the stone, you can click get rid of stone or get rid of iron. If you want to get rid of everything that's in that general area, you just do the everything tool. This thing right here. And they'll get rid of anything and everything, including any type of food that's harvestable from the area. And that's super useful because then they'll just basically do a giant sweep of the area. And so people who are laborers, that's what their job is. They go out there and they start building, well, cutting everything down. And you watch them go. And you can see them all march off on their own. Go, go, go! As you can see, the first thing they start to do... Oh shoot, I moved the camera. Where was I? Up here? Down here. Follow the trail of ants. The first thing they start to do is remove any resources on top of where you're going to be building, like chopping down trees, iron, and rocks in the works. Alright, so as you can see, they're starting to build the hunters and gatherers huts, which is what those wood frames are. And right next to it, I decided to build houses too. And once those are built, I only do 2 houses. And you want to make sure you do stone houses. Because if you do the wooden houses, it takes up more fuel and they get colder faster. It's autumn right up here. You want to make sure you have your hunters and gatherers set up, as well as at least 1 house, maybe 2. You can decide where you put it. The reason why I put houses here is because they're closer to their jobs, so if people are hunters and gatherers, they'll live there. I normally do 3 or 4 houses because that'll count for the hunters, gatherers, and the foresters' hut, and they can all stay there, and they don't have to go into town. So we're almost done. You can watch them finish up this 1 house, and then I'm going to end the video there. And when we come back next time, we'll finish up our forester's lodge, as well as start figuring out a way to get more wood and logs chopped. You can see our little hut there, and if you want, you can click on it. You see who lives in there, which is perfect, and you can see their occupations as well. But the reason why it's important to get a house in there before winter is because if they're stuck without a house during winter, they will all die. No matter how many coats they have up here, they will all die. It's happened to me before. It sucks. And at least if there's 1 house, they can all go in and get warmed up and then go back out there and work. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. I hope you like this game. It's one of my favorites, like I mentioned earlier, and I can't wait to keep going over this with you guys and showing you more of my tips and tricks and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, please leave a like and subscribe. Anyway, and Iondis is out. Bye.